The courtroom was tense, the atmosphere thick with anticipation and silent judgments. A high-profile civil rights lawsuit was underway, challenging systemic police misconduct in a major metropolitan area. The plaintiff's key witness was an articulate black man who had stepped forward to offer expert testimony on the legislative history and constitutional foundations relevant to the case. As Marcus Reed approached the witness stand, Judge Helen Whitaker's eyes narrowed slightly. The judge, known for her exacting standards and skeptical nature, leaned forward and asked, "Mr. Reed, before we proceed, can you please provide your credentials and explain your expertise relevant to this case?" Marcus nodded calmly, understanding the gravity behind the question. He took a deep breath and began, "Your Honor, I am an attorney and policy advisor who has spent over 2 decades working on civil rights legislation and criminal justice reform. I have been directly involved in drafting and advocating for the passage of several key laws, including the State Police Accountability Act and the Community Protection Bill, which are central to the issues raised in this case." The courtroom murmured with surprise. The judge's brow lifted, but she said nothing, waiting for Marcus to continue. "I have also worked closely with state legislators and advocacy groups to ensure these laws address systemic issues in policing, accountability, and transparency," Marcus added, pulling a thick binder from his briefcase. "Here are the legislative records, amendments, and case studies demonstrating my involvement and the impact these laws have had." The prosecutor shifted in his seat, ready to challenge Marcus's qualifications. But Marcus was prepared. "I have published numerous articles and legal analyses on these topics," he continued, "and my testimony today is based not only on my direct involvement in crafting this legislation, but also on the broader constitutional principles these laws uphold." Judge Whitaker finally nodded, her skepticism giving way to recognition. "Very well, Mr. Reed. You may proceed." Marcus took the oath and launched into a detailed explanation of how the laws in question were designed to protect citizens' rights and improve police accountability. He described the legislative process, the challenges faced during drafting, and the intent behind specific provisions. Throughout his testimony, Marcus cited precedent-setting court cases that had influenced the laws he helped write. He explained how these cases shaped legal standards and how the current lawsuit fit within that framework. When cross-examined, Marcus remained steady, deftly addressing attempts to undermine his expertise or the validity of the laws. He used precise legal language and clear examples, leaving little room for doubt. The judge and jury listened intently, absorbing the depth of his knowledge and the clarity of his presentation. By the time Marcus finished, it was clear his testimony had provided a foundation of credibility and authority that strengthened the plaintiff's case significantly. In the days that followed, legal analysts praised Marcus's testimony as a masterclass in combining legislative insight with courtroom advocacy. Judge Whitaker later remarked in a private conversation, "I was prepared to question his qualifications, but Mr. Reed's expertise and professionalism were undeniable." He elevated the entire proceeding. The case concluded with a landmark ruling that set new standards for police accountability, largely credited to the strong legal foundation Marcus helped establish. Outside the courthouse, Marcus reflected on the experience. "It's not just about knowing the law," he said. "It's about understanding its purpose, the stories behind it, and the people it's meant to protect. That's the kind of expertise that makes a difference in the courtroom."